After his argument with Anderson Silva at UFC 183. One of the funniest moments in the history of sport, when Stockton took the best midfield position, Diaz was suspended for 5 years by the Nevada Sports Commission after testing for weeds. That's the voice you hear every time you play a new episode. The first MMA fighter to call himself Floyd Mayweather. Unfortunately, a man whose career depended on both his unfiltered behavior and what helped kind of steer now that. Masvidal has made it clear that he will give Nick a chance to succeed where his brother has been defeated. It's time for UFC to pay attention to what was written on the wall. And then the polarizing fighter will take advantage of the expected history of redemption. While his younger brother Nick may have seduced him with his success with Octagon or his fame among casual fans, no other boxer could retire within 4 years and Thieves still called him his return. Although Dana White said that he couldn't see Nick in the Octagon in the UFC 244 press after the fight, things could change at a time when there is money to win. After shouting "Where are you" at George's house after the victory over BJ Penn and claiming that St. Pierre had fake injuries to get out of his control, they saw in the media's appeal for his fight at UFC 158 when he discussed the differences in how he was perceived before the heroism attributed to champion welterweight. As the fight against the wavy Jorge Masvidal becomes more and more likely, we see that Nick Diaz of Stockton introduces the world to the MMA. Although the penalty against his has been reduced to 18 months, Nick has not yet returned to battle with his former teammate and close friend, Gilbert Melendez, assuming that he drove the car the night of February this year. Whether it was Colby Covington, Michael Poison Page or Kevin Lee, many of the fighters tried to take this place. Like Tito Ortiz, Chael Sonnen, Michael Bisping and Conor McGregor, it will take half a decade to the 31st of January 2015 before Nick Diaz enters the octagon to scream. Outraged UFC crowds. Nick was scheduled for March of this year as his revenge, and Dana comments at the end of 2018 as far as I know. This battle continues, but when it comes to a real bandit moving away from a new pure track through fan sport, nobody has anything to do with fans like Nick Diaz. Although Nick was described by SAP as an inexperienced fool in the period before his struggle, Nick knows very well that he has his meaning. 2 years after his fight with SAP, when he stated that he had not been properly tested and that the French-Canadian had lost 3 pounds in weight, Nick's position as a self-proclaimed head player would be strengthened in the autumn of the next fight. In the years following SPG's unanimous victory over Stockton Strapper, he expressed concern that a man like he was spending his best years before offering Diaz to beat another former UFC champion at Tyron Woodley. Like the I'm against the world mentality that one of Nick's favorite artists cultivated for his life, Nick always believed that he should take care of himself.